Hello, happy Friday, and welcome to the Newsmax Daily for October 4th, 2024. The 278th day of the year, the 40th Friday, and the first of 4 Fridays this month. 4 weeks from today will be November the 1st, and today is National Cinnamon Roll Day. And I have a suggestion for the calendar people. Today should also be 10-4 day, as in the date, like on 4/20. It's a thing, not that everybody should be smoking weed today, but everybody should acknowledge everyone else with a 10-4 on 10-4 day. And right out of the gate, we do have some big news. Elon Musk says he will join Donald Trump at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania tomorrow, the site of the first assassination attempt of the former president. The other big headline, and this is big, the striking port workers and the Maritime Alliance have agreed to a tentative deal on wages and a contract extension through January 15th to give them time to negotiate a long-term new contract. Newsmax host Bianca De La Garza discussed this and other big stories with Missouri Congressman Mark Alford.
What's your reaction to how they have handled this strike and now what we're seeing as an effect across our East and Gulf Coast ports?
They're so in bed with the union on this, Longshoremen's Union. And I tell you what, this could have been resolved weeks ago. It did not have to get to this point. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg should have got these two parties in the room, in the Oval Office or somewhere in the White House and said, look, we're going to settle this for the American people because it's this important. This is going to make COVID and the supply chain issues in COVID look like a cakewalk if we don't get this settled soon. I understand that the Longshore Union workers want a pay raise. I don't know if 78% pay raise is where it's going to be. But let's get this settled. Joe Biden, please grow up and show some real leadership.
The good news is the longshoremen are back on the job today, but what happens between now and January 15th will be critical.
Joe Biden, I think we have some images right now. He is in Perry, Florida to survey damage. Biden was on the beach when this was hitting over the weekend. So here he is trying to, I guess, show that he cares. But ultimately, we know the real hard truth is that this administration, there are no adults in the room.
With Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it is all about photo op. She has a brand new jacket with the official seal on it. It's all staged. Everything she does is staged. This is a staged attempt by Joe Biden. He was pressed in the White House the other day of where were you when this disaster happened? What led up to it? And why weren't you there? As he should have been. And he says, well, I was on the phone for 2 hours. Yeah, calling it in from the beach like he's been doing for 3.5 years. This president has phoned in the entire time. It is a disgrace to the American people. That's why we need a true leader like Donald Trump in the White House.
Missouri Congressman Mark Alford on Newsline yesterday with Bianca De La Garza. The death toll from Hurricane Helene has now surpassed 200 people, with many people still reported missing. Earlier in the week, the Harris campaign said the vice president may go to North Carolina on Friday after visiting Georgia, but she will be making 2 stops in Michigan today. She is not going to North Carolina. She will be in Detroit, and then later in the day in Flint, Michigan. This comes after Donald Trump's rally in Saginaw yesterday.
Kamala spent all her FEMA money, billions of dollars, on housing for illegal migrants.
The White House is defending the FEMA shortage, saying the money for illegals and money for FEMA is 2 completely separate things. Either way, our money is not being used for us. Doesn't really matter which fund it's coming from. It's still all of our money, and it should be going to us. Here's more of the Trump rally at Saginaw Valley State University in Michigan.
I will terminate Lion Kamala's electric vehicle mandate and end immediately the Green New scam. Comrade Kamala Harris voted for a bill to impose a 100% ban on gas-powered cars and trucks. Can you believe it? Killing an estimated 200,000 U.S. auto jobs, including 40,000 auto jobs in Michigan. It's a death sentence for the Michigan economy and for the industry, frankly. I don't know. You have a guy named Sean Fain. I don't know who he is, but this guy has to be the dumbest union leader. He was okay by saying we're going to build 100 very shortly. They want 100% electric cars. That's going to put you out of business because China has everything necessary for electric. We have everything necessary for a gasoline-powered car because of our liquid gold. And I'm not against electric cars, but we're going to have also gas-powered cars. We're going to have hybrids. We might someday have hydrogen. Did you ever hear of hydrogen? That's a new thing.
Trump also praised his running mate's performance in Tuesday's vice presidential debate.
How good did JD Vance do the other night? Didn't he do great? I drafted the best athlete. You know, Vince Lombardi, you say, go for the best athlete. But I had 12 people that would have been fantastic. But JD did a fantastic job at the debate.
And he encouraged everyone, especially the young people in the crowd at the university, to get out and vote.
Early mail-in voting is underway now in Michigan, so if you want, go out and get that ballot, return it as soon as possible. And if not, get a ballot, just go and vote. You got to vote. We got to win this election. Our country is being destroyed by these lunatics. And while you're at it, get as many other Trump supporters as you can, and they'll do the same. 33 days from now, we are going to win the state of Michigan. We are going to defeat Lion Kamala Harris, one of the worst candidates ever. We've never had a candidate like that. And how about the vice president? That's going to be president someday? I don't think so. I don't think so. Did you see the debate? I don't think that's going to be president. He called himself knucklehead. We don't want a knucklehead as a president. And we're going to make America great again.
President Trump in Michigan yesterday. Again, Vice President Harris will be there today. President Biden has no events on his calendar today after 2 long days of visiting hurricane-ravaged areas of the country. Newsmax's Carl Higbie has more on the government response.
Well, we just saw Trump take to the stage and talk about the economy and something else that's very important. And with the death toll now hitting over 200 people in the wake of Hurricane Helene, FEMA and this administration, quite frankly, are nowhere to be found. I want to put something in perspective for just a second. Consider these logistics. 4 million barrels of oil, 595,000 barrels of diesel fuel, 34 million gallons of gas, 38 tons of clothing, more than 7,000 tons of supplies, rope, canvas, cleaning gear, hardware, approximately 1,000 tons of candy, toiletry articles, stationery, canteen items, and approximately 14,500 tons of fresh, frozen, and dry food that mobile hospital constructed in less than 8 hours. Oh, no. That's not what we've provided in the last 5 days since Hurricane Helene basically destroyed all of Lower Appalachia. No. Those numbers was the logistical movement for the first 4 days of the Battle of Iwo Jima. 8,000 miles away from where I'm sitting right now, across the Pacific in 1945, 80 years ago. We haven't done anything close to that for our own tax-paying citizens here in 2024 in America. FEMA is broke. I mean, we're talking broke as a joke, in large part due to the fact that over the last 2 years, they've redirected over $1 billion to care for illegal immigrants. And I now can't even get a fresh drinking water to an actual tax-paying citizen. Mayorkas is begging Congress, which is conveniently now in recess, to give him more money so he can do what he should have been doing already. And it gets even worse, folks. Remember when those illegal, keyword illegal, migrants got debit cards, meals, free hotel rooms in what is probably the greatest slap in the face? Kamala Harris, via her broke FEMA, is only giving U.S. citizens, many who paid taxes for the benefits that went to those illegal immigrants. She's giving them a cool $750. Keep it, lady. I'm not done either. In Greensboro, North Carolina, right around the corner from much of this disaster, There are currently 800 open beds in a completely unused new facility, complete with all the amenities, baseball fields, recreation. Oh, never mind. That's actually being held open and vacant for potential migrant apprehensions. Are you kidding me? In the last 9 months, we have shelled out $24 billion to Ukraine, $8 billion to Israel, $2 billion to Ethiopia, around $1 billion to each of Jordan, Egypt, Somalia, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and the Taliban. $230 million we put into a pier in Gaza that just floated away in less than 3 weeks. And this list goes on. The failure we are seeing unfold should make every American's blood boil. It is like an atrocious lack of priorities, lack of will, lack of competence, but it is not ability. We have the ability to help these people. I just showed you what we did on Iwo Jima in 1945, but we're not doing it. I can hear libs now screaming, "Oh, Carl, you're not on the ground. You have no idea how it works." Yes, I do. Because I was literally the point man on relief efforts for Hurricane Harvey, for the California wildfires, and other disasters under Donald Trump. I was literally the guy. I was in charge of AmeriCorps and its parent agency that was the federal grant arm for stuff just like this. We worked hand in hand with FEMA, and let me tell you why. Why we can't get bottles of water to people who are literally dying, who are stuck in trees. I'm sorry, I'm so angry about this. This is insane. The reason we can't get bottles of water to these people is because this administration, unlike Trump, who waived all that bureaucracy immediately, this White House values structure over function. The reason goods are being literally blocked, roadblocks put up by federal law enforcement in this hurricane relief effort and other recent disasters we've seen too, like out in Maui, is because the government, agencies like FEMA, they have approved vendors, contracts that unless items, bottles of water, food, or whatever, are from those specific companies, they cannot be distributed by government resources. Fact check me all day long on that. I know that for a fact.
Carl Higbie hosts a Frontline 5 o'clock Eastern on Newsmax. Fortunately, we have organizations like the Red Cross, Samaritan's Purse, and many others from all over the country providing food, water, and other vital resources. And fortunately, we have thousands of great Americans also volunteering to help as well, including some with their own private helicopters. You may have seen some of this on social media. There have also been reports by some of those chopper pilots that government officials tried to stop them from helping. This is our current president, asked about the hurricane and the people in need yesterday as he returned to Washington.
What do the states in the storm zone need, Mr. President? Okay. What do the states in the storm zone, what do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm they're talking about. They're getting everything they need, and they're very happy across the board. So we just got to I'm going to have to go back to the Congress and get some more money for the thing.
Oh, in the storm zone. Wasn't sure what storm you were talking about. Yeah, they're getting everything they need, which they clearly are not. The government does have a tremendous response, and there are 6,000 National Guardsmen on the ground. But from everything that we are hearing, people, maybe local governments are getting what they need from the federal government, but the people, the victims, are not getting what they need. Donald Trump will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's about 250 miles west of Asheville for a town hall meeting tonight. Fayetteville is home to one of the largest U.S. Army installations in the country, you may know. Then tomorrow, Trump returns to Butler, Pennsylvania, where he was grazed on the ear by a bullet that nearly killed him in the first assassination attempt on his life. There have been a lot of questions about security for the former president ever since that day. There are multiple investigations into that day, what happened, how it happened, and why, that are continuing. Residents of Butler have mixed emotions about another rally there.
Honestly, it's a bad idea. I didn't like it to begin with because it just spelled trouble, honestly, and I hate to say it. Something bad did happen, unfortunately.
It's scary, but it's a good thing. I think it's going to do good for Butler. I think it gave us a bad name last time.
Trump's running mate, Senator JD Vance, will also be in Butler tomorrow. And the big news, as I mentioned at the open, the richest man in the world, the man literally changing the world, Elon Musk, will be there as well. Sunday, the president is back in Wisconsin. The Butler rally is at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, will be carried live on Newsmax. By the way, Trump has laid out his roadmap on manufacturing in the country. He talked a lot about it yesterday. You can read it in Newsweek. It's right there for everyone to see. And on Wall Street today, stock markets opened well into the green for the first time this week after a much better than expected jobs report this morning showing 254,000 non-farm jobs were added to the economy in September. That was about 100,000 more than what analysts had forecast. With the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, the monthly jobs report for the next few months is going to be even more important than it usually is. Economists say a weak jobs report could support a bigger rate cut. So with today's excellent report, we may not get another rate cut this month. Be sure to keep up with all of the news on Newsmax and at newsmax.com, and make sure you're streaming on Newsmax Plus for the most complete lineup of all of your favorite shows and guests. NewsmaxPlus.com. Don't miss Wake Up America Weekend Edition tomorrow and Sunday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday report, the Saturday and Sunday agenda. Folks like Rita Cosby, Lydia Serrani, Tom Basile, the Gorka reality check on Sunday, including the big Butler rally tomorrow afternoon and Sunday's rally in Wisconsin. I'm Tony Marino. Thank you, as always, for listening to the NEWSMAX Daily. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a fantastic and safe weekend. Oh, if you're a football person, how about that game last night? Unbelievable game. Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield in a shootout as the Atlanta Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 36-30 in overtime. And that leads us into a lot of great football this weekend, college and NFL action. So enjoy your weekend doing whatever it is you like to do. Be safe and keep on fighting the good fight.
News breaks every minute, every day. You need the app, the Newsmax app. Find it free on your smartphone store. Then watch us anytime, anywhere.
It's Jerry Callahan from The Callahan Show. You can listen to us every day. We react to the latest news, politics, sports, and all the madness in the world. I'll give you my opinion with a little edge, a little attitude. I'm an unapologetic right-winger, trapped behind enemy lines in deep blue Boston, so I'm used to taking on the mainstream media mob. You can hear us anywhere you get your podcast, or you can listen every day at newsmax.com/listen.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for